With AI, fraudsters can take 3-second, and you all know this, 3-second recording of your voice. I've watched one of me on a couple of things. I said, when the hell did I say that? But all kidding aside, 3 seconds recording your voice and generate an impersonation good enough to fool, I was going to say your family, fool you. I swear to God, you take a look at it. It's mind-blowing. And they can use it to scam loved ones into sending money because they think you're in trouble. That's wrong.
I know Joe Biden's talking to folks who maybe don't know about this, but watching it seems like he's telling people, did you guys know there's this technology where they can fake who you are? I wouldn't even know it. They can scam you for money. Yeah, we know it. I know it, but still, I guess you got to tell the people who don't know. Joe Biden there is doing some things as far as AI and trying to limit the types of damaging things that maybe some of these AI companies could allow the technology to pull off. Here's some of these things he's planning with this executive order, since Congress hasn't done much so far. The executive order exerts oversight over safety tests that companies use to evaluate conversation bots, such as ChatGPT, and also introduces industry standards like watermarks for identifying AI-fueled products, among other regulations. The batch of reforms amounts to the strongest set of actions any government in the world has ever taken on AI safety, security, and trust. That's what the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Bruce Reed, also said. This is what's in it, you guys. Companies must conduct safety tests and share the results with the federal government. Oh my God. A key rule established under the executive order demands that AI companies conduct these tests of some of their products and share the results with government officials before the new capabilities become available to consumers. And if a safety assessment returns concerning results, the federal government could force a company to either make product improvements or abandon a given initiative. And one high-profile new standard would actually codify the use of watermarks that alert consumers when they encounter a product enabled by AI, which could limit the threat posed by imposter content such as deepfakes. And another rule would ensure that biotechnology firms take appropriate precautions when using AI to create or manipulate biological material. And the industry guidance will function as suggestions rather than mandates. That's the main part here, leaving firms free to set aside the government recommendations. So it's a little bit of oversight, and it's some rules maybe in place they can use if they want to be within the standards or whatever they're asking for, but it's definitely not a mandate. And I'm not sure if you saw this, Woz, but I remember I'd heard about it, and I finally looked it up this morning of who was it? One of the Bella Hadid, and there was that deep fake of her as she's been staunchly in support of these innocent Palestinians that are being killed. And basically her flipping the script and saying she understands everything and this attacks are coming to Israeli citizens and all that. And I don't know how many people were fooled by that, but what I saw was an obvious deep fake, even though it was well done. At the same time though, how much better is it gonna get soon?
Yeah, I'm a bit cynical about it, Jayar, to be honest. Just think about something like the food industry that is heavily regulated in this country. However, food manufacturers, or what we call food anyway, these processed foods, the way they manipulate the labeling, it's intentionally to fool consumers into thinking they're buying stuff that they're not. Buying stuff that's healthier, buying stuff that's less processed, buying that kind of stuff. Like they skirt these freaking rules all the time. And so I'm pretty sure by the time the tech lobbyists get done with Congress, please, man, AI is gonna be about fooling us and making us part with our money or our attention so that they could sell us ads and that kind of thing. Like it's just gonna be another way for them to essentially find ways to keep our attention to sell us more ads.
This might be that part, and that's actually in this couple of graphics. I want to jump down to the fifth graphic here, you guys, though. And speaking about that, that's the natural standard way. And then the fear maybe comes from the negative sides of all that information being out there. And I've been trying to think of ways, because I had some friends that never found themselves on social media, never found themselves on any of these types of things. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of, I guess, smart, but also maybe a little boring at the same time. I feel like I'm starting to hit the wall. And I'm gonna start, reversing course about how much is out there about me. But still, whatever has happened, let's go to this fifth graphic, because this is what Americans generally think about the use of AI and the type of things that are potentially harmful with it. There's a share of adults who say they have select concerns about AI. So 80%, that top bar there, is AI used in malicious cyberattacks. I think everyone can agree that that'd be a problem. Going down, it's AI used for identity theft at 78%. Not holding those using AI accountable for their actions. People concerned about that 76% of the time. Same for AI being used to harvest and sell personal data. Good. Also, AI used to create deceptive political ads, 74%. And unfair distribution of AI causing harm to disadvantaged populations, dropping rapidly. And then lastly, it being used to replace me at my job, among those employed, at least it says there in parentheses though. So I think those are the two big things. You start about the advertising, taking people's data, but then also, which has been the original, I think, thought is how much it's taking people could take certain folks' jobs, and many times those jobs being, automated things that customer service folks may be involved in, and where they then go next. One more chart here, you guys, because this one interests me as well. And this is the main thing about this. I won't go through each one of them, but these are things that Americans had a negative view of AI's impact on privacy. And then they had positive approach on things that it could help. The thing I noticed on the not sure bar on the end there, a large number of people are not sure about whether or not things are good or bad, no matter what the topic is. As obvious as the first one being people finding product services that they are interested in online. But as we go down, we got 35%, 37%, 44, 42, 47, 40. Those are significant numbers of people who are on the I don't know or not sure range, which means nobody knows exactly how this is going to look, how it's going to affect them, how they should approach it. And I'm one of those people. I mean, you seem more definitive about either jumping in or jumping out. Waz, your last thoughts?
I mean, I'm gonna avoid it as long as I possibly can. I've just become, as I've gotten older, I've just become skeptical of the utility of a lot of stuff that we call tech or advancements in technology. At this point in time, and so yeah, I'm not like scared, like AI is coming to kill us in our sleep. I'm not like that, but at the same time, every time Facebook or Apple or whoever puts out some new thing that's AI based, I'm not running to it so I could be like, I want to be the first to try this and implement this into my life. I'm not, absolutely not.
Yeah, something else stuck out to me because in New Orleans, they're using more facial recognition. Not that this is necessarily AI, but still computer generated technology to help with normal things like police work. And it's details in this, it's political articles, so I won't go through the details deep, but the idea is the number of times they used it, I think it was a 15 different, suspect sample size. 14 out of the 15 were Black folks, number one, because that's still human selection, who they choose to run the facial recognition through the system against. But then also 6 out of the 15 that they went through were absolute non-matches and made no sense. And then 3 of those 6 were also no good. So I think out of all of it, 1 actually tracked after it's been a couple of years of them re-implementing this technology, and 1 has actually panned out, and the rest have been false connections and things like that. But the thing is once police then go off of that or feel more comfortable with whatever the technology tells them, who cares if it's good or bad or if it's accurate or not? Police work has to be the thing that does that. Sometimes they get lazy. I want to point that part out as we're talking about new technologies and how it can affect people even if they don't want to be involved.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.